Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the show. Get your notebooks out and sharpen your pencils. You are listening to Learn English Easy.
While your phone is currently broadcasting your location, your heartbeat, your voice print, and probably your shopping habits to the cloud, this little brick, it just makes phone calls. It's, air-gapped from the madness.
Air-gapped from the madness. Usually I would make a joke about you living in the past, maybe ask if you've been churning your own butter.
I might start.
But looking at the weather out there, it is a miserable, gray Sunday, January 25, 2026. The rain is coming down. The sky is that ominous shade of charcoal. It is the perfect day to stay inside, wrap yourself in a blanket, and get absolutely paranoid about the internet.
Precisely. And my flip phone is looking smarter by the minute, isn't it?
It really, really is. Because today's mission is, well, it's a journey into the dark heart of modern deception. We are unpacking a stack of sources that cover everything from the evolution of the Nigerian prince scam, which, we all remember fondly, I think.
A simpler time.
A simpler time. And we're taking it all the way to the absolutely terrifying reality of 2026. We're talking about digital arrests, AI voice clones, and what the experts are calling psychological warfare.
That is the key term, psychological warfare.
Wow.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, we aren't talking about poorly spelled emails anymore.
Yeah.
We aren't talking about someone asking for a small loan to get their inheritance out of a locked bank account.
Right.
We are moving from typos to deepfakes. We are looking at technology that can bypass biometric security, literally stealing your face and voice.
Yeah.
And manipulate human emotion on an industrial scale.
It's terrifying. So our mission today is to decode the new vocabulary of fraud. We've got terms like allay, pig butchering, and liveness injection. Hopefully by the end of this, we're going to arm you, the listener, with the tools to figure out if you're living in reality or if you've stepped into a simulation designed to drain your bank account.
The mission is simple, really. To verify before you trust.
Exactly. Verify, then trust.
So, okay, let's unpack this. I want to start with something that hits really close to home for a lot of people. The grandparent scam. Now, we've heard versions of this for years, right? The, "Hi, Grandma, it's me," call from a supposed grandchild in trouble.
Right. It's a classic for a reason. It preys on a very powerful emotion. The instinct to protect your family.
But looking at this report from the Senior Care Standard US, the 2026 version is, it's not your grandma's scam anymore. It's a whole different beast.
No, it has evolved significantly. In the past, the scammer relied on, a bad connection, maybe some static. They would call and say, "Hey, Grandma, it's me." And they'd literally rely on the victim's brain to fill in the gaps.
So they're just phishing.
Completely. The victim would say, "Mike, is that you?" And the scammer would immediately jump on it. Yeah, it's Mike. It was just a guessing game.
Right. It was social engineering 1.0. But what we are seeing now, it's not guessing. It's precision engineering. We are dealing with AI voice cloning.
Yeah.
And the technology has advanced to the point where scammers do not need to guess. They don't need to hope you have a grandson named Mike. They know you do. They know his name from Facebook, and they know exactly what he sounds like.
And according to the source, they don't need hours of audio to do this. This is the part that I just couldn't wrap my head around. I was shocked by this. They need, 3 seconds?
3 to 10 seconds. That is it.
3 seconds? How is that even possible?
That is the frightening efficiency of modern few-shot learning models. 3 to 10 seconds of audio is all it takes. And think about where they get it. An Instagram story, a TikTok video, a Facebook post where someone's wishing a happy birthday.
Any public audio.
Any public audio. The AI analyzes the waveform, the unique pitch, the cadence, the specific way your vocal cords vibrate. It builds a complete digital model of that person's voice.
So just to be crystal clear for everyone listening, if my son posts a video of himself on Instagram saying, "Hey guys, look at the sunset," that is enough.
That is more than enough. The scammer can then take that voice model, type any script they want into a text-to-speech program, and the AI will speak it in your son's voice.
Wow.
And it's not robotic. It captures the pauses, the breathing patterns, even the regional accent. It sounds completely real.
That is just, it's wild. So let's set the scene here. It's 2 a.m., your phone rings, you pick up, you're groggy, half asleep, and you hear your grandson, Mike. Not a static-filled voice, not a bad connection, but Mike.
It is his voice.
He's using the nickname he calls you. He's pausing in that little way he usually pauses when he's nervous. And he's sobbing.
And that emotional hook is the critical component. It is what we call an amygdala hijack.
An amygdala hijack.
The scenario is always, and I mean always, designed to bypass your prefrontal cortex, that's the logical thinking part of your brain, and go straight to the amygdala, the fear and emotion center.
So it's pure panic.
Pure panic. I hit a car, I'm in jail, I'm at the hospital. One of those common ones now is, I was in an Uber, the police pulled us over, there were drugs in the car, and now I'm arrested.
And it puts the brain into fight or flight mode immediately.
Exactly. You are not thinking about voice waveforms or AI models. You are thinking about survival. You're thinking, my grandson is in danger, I have to help him.
And then comes the next part, which is just as brilliant as it is evil.
The second trigger? Secrecy. Please don't tell mom and dad, they'll kill me.
That isolation tactic is so manipulative. It cuts you off from your support network, from the very people you would normally call to verify the story.
It does more than that. It frames the victim as the hero. It makes you the co-conspirator. If you tell mom, the scam falls apart. But the scammer phrases it as, if you tell mom, I am ruined. It binds the victim to the attacker in this secret alliance.
It's manipulative on such a deep, primal level. But even with the perfect voice, there have to be cracks in the armor, right? There are smoking guns that the technology cannot fix.
There are. And this is what listeners need to burn into their brains. No matter how real the voice sounds, no matter how panicked you feel, you have to look at the payment method. The money. The report highlights this explicitly. Courts, hospitals, police stations, they never, ever, under any circumstances, ask for payment via gift cards, Bitcoin, or wire transfers.
So if your grandson is in jail, you are not bailing him out with Apple gift cards.
Precisely. The legal system does not run on Amazon credit. It just doesn't. If you hear Western Union or go to a Bitcoin ATM or read me the numbers off the back of some Target gift cards, the illusion should shatter immediately.
That's the tell.
That is the red flag that cannot be faked. That is the reality check.
So what's the defense? Because if I can't trust my ears, if I can't trust the voice of my own family member, what do I trust? The source mentions an analog solution to a digital problem, which sounds like something you'd love with your trusty flip phone over there.
I do love it because it's brilliant in its simplicity.
Yeah.
It is the safe word.
A safe word, like in a spy movie.
Exactly like that. It is so simple, yet it is almost 100% effective. Families need to sit down, and I mean today, not tomorrow, and agree on a word or a short phrase.
And it has to be something weird.
Right. It shouldn't be something common. It shouldn't be the dog's name or your street address, because that stuff can be found online. It should be totally random. Two words that don't belong together. Purple elephant, macaroni.
Macaroni. I like that. It's memorable but random. So let's play this out. The 2 a.m. call comes in. Grandma, I'm in jail. Send money. You pause. You take a deep breath and you ask.
I love you and I will help you, but I need to verify. What is the safe word?
And if it's an AI or a scammer in a call center?
They don't know. The AI doesn't know.
Yeah.
The scammer typing the script doesn't know. They'll do one of two things. They'll hang up or they'll get angry and aggressive. What are you talking about? I'm in jail and you're asking me about stupid words.
And that aggression is your sign?
That is your signal to hang up. No questions asked. Hang up, and then you immediately call the real number for your grandson or his parents. You verify from your end.
It's almost like we need to go back to spycraft basics just to survive in 2026.
In a way, yes. When reality can be so perfectly simulated, shared secrets are the only form of verification we have left. It's an analog firewall for your family.
I love that term, analog firewall. Now, speaking of simulations and psychological pressure, here is where it gets really interesting and honestly, really, really dark. We need to talk about digital arrests.
This is a phenomenon that has absolutely exploded, particularly in India and the global south, but it is bleeding into the U.S. diaspora now at an alarming rate. Frankenfraud calls it the fastest growing cybercrime category out there.
The term digital arrest itself is terrifying. It sounds like something straight out of a dystopian novel. But this is real life. I want to walk through this case study from Mint because it really paints the picture of how immersive and horrifying this scam is. We're talking about Dr. Indira Taneja.
Yes, a retired official, a highly educated woman. She worked for the UN. This isn't someone who is technologically illiterate in the traditional sense of the word.
Right. And I think that's a bias we all have. We assume scams only work on people who don't know how to use a computer. But this scam doesn't target tech illiteracy.
No, it targets our inherent respect for authority.
Authority bias.
Yeah.
So let's look at the timeline. December 24th, 2025. A gloomy Christmas Eve. She gets a call. They claim her phone number has been linked to money laundering and some kind of harassment calls. And then she is digitally arrested for 16 days. 16 days. Let that sink in for a moment. This wasn't a 10-minute phone call. This is a 2-week psychological siege.
Imagine that. Imagine the psychological state. She is in her own home, the place she should feel safest, but she's a prisoner.
How does that even work? How do you hold someone hostage over Skype or WhatsApp?
It is about dominating the victim's entire environment. The scammers, who are posing as law enforcement, the CBI, the police, sometimes they even pose as Supreme Court officials.
So they're escalating the authority.
Massively. They demand that the camera on her laptop or phone stays on 24/7. They tell the victim, you are under constant surveillance. If you turn off the camera, you are fleeing custody. If you talk to anyone, you are obstructing a federal investigation.
So she's in her living room, but the laptop camera becomes the jail cell bars.
Correct. The source says she was forced to keep the camera on, even while sleeping. Even while stepping away to use the restroom, they demanded she keep the audio on so they can hear.
I'm sorry, that is psychological torture.
It is. They watched her every move. They stripped away her privacy, her autonomy, her sense of safety, completely.
And the production value must be high for this to work.
It is. And the visuals are convincing. The scammers wear uniforms. They use high-quality video backdrops that look like real police stations. They'll present these fake Supreme Court orders with official-looking stamps and letterhead. They exploit authority bias to the absolute extreme.
And we're all susceptible to that.
We're conditioned to respect the law, to fear the police. When a man in a uniform tells you that you are in trouble for money laundering, your first instinct is to prove your innocence, not to question his credentials.
And the loss, it's just staggering. Dr. Taneja and her husband lost 14.85 crore rupees. That's millions of US dollars.
In 8 separate transfers over those 16 days. And the cruelty of it, the real evil, is that the scammers coached them on what to say to the bank tellers.
So they weaponize the victims against their own rescue.
Exactly. Tell them it's for a property deal. Tell them it's for a family medical emergency. They isolated the victims from the very people, the bank employees, who are trained to spot these red flags and could have saved them.
It's a complete encirclement. There's no way out. The Frankenfraud report puts some hard numbers on this. Losses surged 21-fold between 2022 and 2024.
21-fold. It's an exponential growth curve.
And we're talking $232 million lost in 2024 alone.
And that is almost certainly an undercount because so many victims are too ashamed or too embarrassed to report it.
The source also mentions where this is coming from, and it's not just a guy in a basement somewhere.
No, this is highly organized crime. The report indicates that about 45 to 46% of these operations originate from Southeast Asia. We're talking Cambodia, Myanmar, Laos.
And they're run out of these compounds.
Yes, massive compounds, often presenting as casinos or industrial parks where people are working in shifts to conduct these scams. It is an industry. There are scripts, there are managers, there are sales quotas. It's a business model built on human misery.
So for the listener right now who might be thinking, well, I'd know if I was being arrested, what is the one single thing they need to remember about how real law enforcement actually works?
It is very, very simple. No legitimate law enforcement agency, not the FBI, not the Indian police, not the CBI, not Scotland Yard conducts arrests over video calls.
It just doesn't happen.
It does not happen. They do not do Skype interrogations for money laundering. If the police want to talk to you, they will come to your door. They will have a badge. They will have a warrant. They will not ask you to turn on your webcam and transfer your life savings to a safe account to prove your innocence.
That phrase, safe account, that's the key word right there, isn't it?
It is the ultimate lie. The government does not have safe accounts for citizens to park their money during an investigation. If anyone, especially someone claiming to be a cop, asks you to move money to a safe account, that is a scammer. 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Always.
Okay, taking a breath here, because that story is heavy. That is a truly horrifying scenario.
It is. It's a new frontier of crime.
But we have to keep moving deeper into the swamp. We've talked about the quick, shocking hit of the grandparent scam and the prolonged siege of the digital arrest. Now let's talk about the long con, the one with the gruesome name, pig butchering.
Yes. The term comes from the Chinese phrase, 杀猪盘. And the metaphor is visceral, but it's incredibly accurate. You don't slaughter a pig when it is skinny. You feed it, you nurture it, you make it comfortable, you fatten it up. And only when it is at its maximum value do you take everything.
It's brutal. And unlike the digital arrest, which relies on fear and authority, this one relies on
What?
affection, friendship, love.
Trust and greed. Those are the two levers they pull.
Okay.
It usually starts incredibly innocuously. A text message to your phone. Hey, are we still on for lunch? Or Is this the number for the dog groomer?
And you, being a polite person, you reply, oh, sorry, you have the wrong number.
And that's the opening. The scammer replies, oh, my deepest apologies. You seem so polite, though. Fate must have brought us together. My name is Lee, by the way. And the conversation begins.
This is the slow burn. This isn't a one-day thing. This isn't even a one-week thing.
No, this can go on for weeks, sometimes months. They don't ask for money on day 1 or day 10 or even day 30. They just talk about life. They share photos of their breakfast, their dog, their lavish lifestyle.
Ah, the lifestyle.
Yes. Look at this view from my hotel in Paris. Just bought this new luxury car. They are building a simulation of success and happiness. They become your friend, your confidant, sometimes even a romantic interest.
And eventually, after weeks of this, the victim asks, wow, you seem to have it all figured out. How can you afford all that?
And the trap snaps shut. Oh, I invest in crypto. My uncle is a financial analyst at Goldman Sachs. He gives me these inside tips. It's actually very easy. I can show you if you want.
And this is where the tech comes in again. Because they don't just ask you to Venmo them cash, they guide you to a platform. It's much more sophisticated.
Correct. And this is the really sophisticated part. They will often have you buy real cryptocurrency on a legitimate, well-known exchange like Coinbase or Binance.
So you feel safe.
You feel completely safe. You think, okay, this is a real company. I've heard of them. But then they give you a link to a trading platform, a third-party website or app where the real magic happens.
Which looks professional, I'm assuming?
It looks better than the real ones sometimes. It has charts that go up and down in real time. It has customer support chatbots. It looks 100% legitimate. But it is entirely fake.
Yeah.
It is a simulation controlled by the scammer.
So the money isn't being invested at all?
No.
Yeah.
The moment you transfer your crypto from the real exchange to their fake platform, you are handing your money directly to the scammer. It's gone.
But on the screen, on this fake platform, it says, I'm making a fortune.
Of course it does. The numbers go up. You put in $10,000, and a week later, the screen says you have $15,000. The scammer might even let you withdraw a small amount, say $500, just to prove it works.
That's the fattening.
That is the fattening. You think, it's real, I made money, so you mortgage your house. You cash out your 401k. You borrow from family. You put in everything you have.
And then comes the kill, the slaughter.
You try to withdraw the big amount,
Oh.
and suddenly, the platform freezes. Customer support, who is just the scammer, says, oh, your account is frozen for a security audit. You need to pay a 20% tax fee to unlock it.
And you've come this far, so you pay the tax.
You pay the tax, and then it's a service charge, and then it's a legal fee, and then an expedited withdrawal fee. They will keep draining you with these fake fees until you either run out of money or you realize the money was gone the moment you sent it.
It's so devastating because the betrayal is so personal. It wasn't a faceless hacker. It was your friend of 6 months, the person you were sharing your hopes and dreams with.
Precisely. The psychological damage of pig butchering is often far worse than the financial damage. Victims feel stupid. They feel betrayed. They feel complicit in their own ruin. They haven't just lost their savings. They've lost the person they thought they knew and trusted.
So what does this all mean? We're seeing a clear pattern here. Whether it's the grandparent scam, the digital arrests, or the pig butchering, it's all about manipulating the human operating system. But these techniques, they didn't just appear out of nowhere. They have ancestors, right?
They do. And to really understand the present, we have to look at the classics. We have to look at the genesis of it all. We have to look at the Nigerian prince.
The legend. The 419 scams. I think everyone listening has seen one of these emails at some point. Dear beloved, I am Prince so-and-so. I have $50 million trapped in a vault, and I require your assistance.
It is the archetype of modern online fraud. It's officially called advance fee fraud. And the history is fascinating. It actually traces back to the Spanish prisoner scam of the 18th century.
Wait, the 18th century? You're telling me this is hundreds of years old?
Yes. In the 1700s, con men would send letters, actual physical letters, claiming to be a wealthy aristocrat who was unjustly imprisoned in Spain.
Unbelievable.
They needed a small amount of money to bribe the guards. In exchange for your help, they would promise you a share of their vast hidden fortune and often their beautiful daughter's hand in marriage.
So the Nigerian prince is just a digital remix of the Spanish prisoner.
Exactly. Human nature hasn't changed, just the medium we use to exploit it. But there's a question I always get asked about these emails, and it's a good one. Why are they so badly written?
Right. The typos, the bizarre grammar. I am wanting to give you monies. You'd think with all the money they steal, they could hire an editor. Or, just use ChatGPT to clean it up in 2 seconds.
It's actually a brilliant, if cynical, filtering mechanism. It's a concept called the self-selection theory.
Self-selection.
Think about it. The scammers send out millions of these emails. They do not have the time or the manpower to talk to skeptics or critical thinkers who will waste their time asking questions.
So the typo is a feature, not a bug.
Yes, it's a feature. If you read that email and you immediately spot the typos and the bad grammar and you delete it, you are not their target. You're too smart. They want the person who reads that email and doesn't notice the errors, or who is desperate or gullible enough to ignore them.
So it filters for the most vulnerable.
The typos ensure that only the most promising potential victims respond. It saves the scammer an immense amount of time. It optimizes their workflow.
That is diabolical. It's efficiency engineering for crime.
It is a business. And like any business or any distinct subculture, they have their own internal language, their own jargon. The Reddit source provided us with a fascinating glimpse into the scammer's dictionary.
Oh, I loved this part. The code. Let's start with the big one. Alay.
Alay, spelled A-L-A-Y-E. It is a Yoruba word, and it loosely translates to something like owner of the world or powerful one. But in the context of online fraud, it is a password. It is a shibboleth.
A shibboleth. I like that. So if a scammer is trying to scam another scammer by accident.
Exactly. If I am a scammer, and I suspect you are also a scammer who is wasting my time, what they call a scam baiter, I might drop the word alay into the chat. If you respond with alay or ancestors, the jig is up.
The game is over.
The game is over. We both know we are in the same business and we move on.
It's like a secret handshake for criminals.
It is. And then, of course, you have the terms for the victims, mugu or mumu.
Which means fool.
Victim. If they're calling you a mugu in their internal chats, they are laughing at you.
And if you catch them, if you waste their time and then reveal you knew all along.
Then you might hear, thunder fire you.
Thunder fire you. That sounds intense.
It's a common curse in that part of the world. It means, may lightning strike you down. It is what they say when the mask finally slips and they're filled with rage because you've wasted their precious time.
But there's a softer side to the vocabulary too, right? A kind of weaponized empathy. The question, have you eaten?
This is a really interesting one. In much of West African culture, it is a very common greeting, a sign of care and concern. Asking, have you eaten, is like asking, how are you, or are you okay? It shows you care about their basic well-being.
But in a romance scam, it lands differently.
In a romance scam, it is devastatingly effective. Because in the West, if someone you just met online asks, have you eaten today, it feels incredibly intimate. It feels like they really, truly care about you on a deep level.
He cares if I had lunch, he must really love me.
Exactly. It creates a powerful but completely false sense of intimacy. It weaponizes a cultural norm to lower your defenses and make you feel cherished.
It's fascinating how culture bleeds into the methodology of crime, but we have to pivot to the future because as much as we can analyze the Nigerian prince, the 2026 threats make him look quaint and almost charming by comparison.
A different era.
A completely different era. We looked at a Reddit thread that posed a really interesting question. How will millennials, the generation that grew up with the internet, how are they going to get scammed in 40 years when they're the grandparents?
This is where the dead internet theory starts to feel very real. The idea that in the future, the internet will be so populated by bots and AI that most of the people you interact with aren't people at all.
So the millennial scam isn't a fake prince. It's a fake AI influencer you've been following for 10 years.
Think about it. We already see virtual influencers, CGI characters with millions of followers. In the future, you might be buying products, donating to political causes, or even voting for candidates that are entirely AI generated. You build a relationship with them.
You're forming a parasocial relationship with a piece of code, and you won't even know it.
And you won't know it. The Reddit thread also mentioned subscription scams as the ultimate banality of evil for a generation used to recurring payments. Not a big one-time heist, but a death by 1,000 cuts.
The Apple $9.99 mystery charge on steroids?
Exactly. Survival subscriptions. You're subscribed to your smart fridge, your car's heated seats, your home's air quality monitor, and scammers will just slip fake, low-cost subscriptions in there, hoping you won't notice another $4.99 charge a month.
But the most terrifying tech on the horizon, or rather, it's already here in 2026, is AI that is designed to bypass security. We've all been trained to assume that biometrics are safe. My face is my password.
Right. It feels so secure. I unlock my phone with my face. My banking app scans my face to authorize a transfer. That's supposed to be the gold standard, isn't it?
It was, but not anymore. The Thai PBS source highlighted a terrifying new development, AI that can trick liveness detection.
Liveness detection. Can you break that down?
It is the test that banks and other services use to make sure you're a real, live person and not just holding up a photo of someone. It's when the app says, blink 3 times, turn your head to the left, smile for the camera.
Okay, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Right. But scammers are now using deepfake tools that can take a single high-resolution selfie from your Instagram or your Facebook profile.
A photo I posted myself.
Yeah.
Willingly.
Yes, a photo you gave them, and they animate it in real time. This is called liveness injection. The AI makes your photo blink. It makes your photo turn its head. It makes your photo smile on command. And they inject this fake video feed directly into the banking app's camera stream.
So the bank's AI thinks it's looking at a real person, but it's just looking at a puppeted version of my selfie.
Precisely. In 2026, your face is your password, and you have posted your password on every social media platform for the entire world to see and copy.
That creates a massive, massive dilemma. Do we stop posting photos of ourselves? Do we go faceless online just to protect our bank accounts?
It raises an important question about privacy versus participation, doesn't it? If participating in modern society means giving away your biometric keys, are we ever truly safe?
Okay, that is sufficiently terrifying. I think everyone listening is probably ready to throw their phone in a river and move to a cabin in the woods.
My flip phone is looking better and better.
It is, but we can't all do that. We have to live in this world. So let's talk countermeasures. Let's get practical. How do we fight back against this onslaught?
We have to build a defense in depth. It's not about one single trick. It's about layers of security.
Layer 1. We already mentioned it, but it bears repeating. The safe word.
It is non-negotiable. If you have a family, parents, children, grandparents, you need to have this conversation and establish a safe word. Tonight.
Step 2. Spam shields. This is basic digital hygiene.
Most smartphones in 2026 have this feature built in. It's often called silence unknown callers. Turn it on. If it is a real emergency, they will leave a voicemail. If it is the police, they will not be calling you from a hidden or unknown number.
We need to unlearn the habit of answering every call. It sounds antisocial, but it's a critical security measure now.
And for the video calls, let's say I'm on a Zoom with someone who looks exactly like my boss, or a cop, or my brother.
Right.
How do I spot the deepfake, the liveness injection?
You have to look for the glitches. The technology is very good, but it is not perfect yet. Look at the hairline. Does it blur or pixelate when they move their head? Look at the edges of their face against the background.
What about the eyes?
The eyes are a big one. Are the reflections in their eyes natural? Do they seem to match the lighting in the room they claim to be in? And look for audio sync issues. Does the mouth move perfectly and naturally with the words? Sometimes there's a tiny, almost imperceptible lag.
And I'd add, you have to ask them to do something weird, something unpredictable that the AI might not be trained for. Hey, can you touch your nose with your left index finger? Wave your hand in front of your face for a second.
Yes, that's a great tactic. Deepfakes often struggle with occlusion. That's when an object passes in front of the face. If they wave their hand and their face glitches out or disappears for a frame, hang up.
Okay, now let's say the worst has happened. You were caught off guard, you panicked, you've been scammed, you sent the money. Is it just game over? Is the money gone forever?
Not necessarily, but you have to understand that time is everything. We call it the golden hour of recovery.
The golden hour, how long is that, really?
Generally, the best chance is within the first 2 to 3 hours of the transaction. If you act within this window, there's a good chance the money's still sitting in the initial mule account before it gets laundered out through complex chain of transfers.
And what is the action? Who do you go call?
In India, there is a specific, dedicated helpline, number 1930. This connects directly to the National Cybercrime Reporting Portal. If you call 1930 immediately, they can coordinate with the banks to try and freeze the funds before they move. It's a critical piece of infrastructure.
And what about in the U.S.?
It is admittedly harder once wire transfers or crypto are sent, but your first 2 calls must be to your bank to report the fraud, and then to the FBI's IC3, which is the Internet Crime Complaint Center. You have to get a report on file immediately.
And documentation, right. I imagine the instinct is to delete everything out of shame.
You must fight that instinct. Do not delete anything. The shame makes people want to erase the text, delete the chat history, clear the call logs. Do not do it. That is your evidence. Screenshots, call logs, transaction IDs, wallet addresses. You need a complete record of every interaction and every transaction.
It's empowering to know there's a system, even if it's a race against the clock. It's not a completely hopeless situation.
Awareness is the best defense. These scams thrive on ignorance and panic. If you know the script, you can flip the script.
I love that. If you know the script, you can flip the script. So, we've covered a lot of ground today, from the 2 a.m. panic calls using AI voices, to the digital prisons, to the slow, methodical burn of pig butchering. It is a lot to process.
It is. But if there's one single core lesson to take away from all of this, it is this. Verification must override trust.
Verify then trust. That's a new mantra. It feels cold, though, doesn't it? To not be able to trust your own eyes and ears, to have to be suspicious of a loved one's voice.
It does. It feels like a loss of innocence. But in a world of synthetic media, of perfectly crafted simulations, blind trust is no longer a virtue. It's a liability.
You know, this brings up a final thought for me. I was reading through the comments on that Reddit thread about millennial scams, and it sparked a question that's been bothering me since. If AI becomes truly 100% indistinguishable from reality, if we reach a point where we stop answering our phones, where we don't trust video calls, where we need safe words just to talk to our moms, what happens to human connection?
That is the profound tragedy of this era, isn't it? The technology that was supposed to connect us is now sowing distrust at the most fundamental level.
Are we heading toward a world where we can only trust the people who are physically standing in the room with us? Are we going to become hyper-local, hyper-isolated, just to stay safe from the digital ghosts?
It is a distinct possibility, a sort
Yeah.
of digital dark age. Or perhaps we will go in the other direction. Perhaps we will eventually need to subscribe to a verified reality just to know who and what is real.
What do you mean by that?
Imagine paying a monthly fee for a service that puts a verified human badge next to a caller ID, or guarantees a video feed isn't a deepfake, a subscription service for authenticity.
A subscription to reality. Now that is a dystopian thought to end on.
Indeed it is.
Well, on that cheerful note, seriously, thank you for guiding us through this digital minefield. It's been truly eye-opening.
My pleasure. Stay safe out there. Stay skeptical.
And thank you to you, the listener, for taking the deep dive with us. Keep your flip phones close, keep your safe words closer, and we'll see you next time.
Goodbye.